Second stimulus checks are not out of the water in the CR, the continuing resolution bill. In fact, the push is back underway to get them back in. What's going on? And why did suddenly everything change midday yesterday? Yes, when we looked like we were finalizing a deal and we were on the cusp of a deal with a few small provisions, suddenly things started to blow up. And we realized that these parties were not as close as they were, and that they were hammering back and forth to deal with provisions. As we start on Friday morning, the push is back underway with the Purple Power and other forces, including the news media, to get stimulus checks in there, to get eviction moratorium in there, to get mortgage forbearance in there. Not including them in there is inhumane. It's illogical, it's irrational, and it doesn't make any sense. The president said he will sign whatever Mitch McConnell gives to him. And so the president on this one is deferring to Mitch. So, the most important voice to get to is Mitch. You're going to hear a lot of voices throughout the day, Friday, and I'm going to be on top of it for you. You're going to hear voices from Nancy, as she apparently is going to try to go higher of $900 billion, which both sides have said they're not, the other sides have all said they're not going to allow. You're going to hear the problem solvers try to get Mitch to go higher, which by all accounts, Mitch is not going to give 200 or even 1 penny to state and local. And you can hear a lot of broadcast news reporters saying, where is the stimulus check? In either the title, the first paragraph, or the byline of the news article, as they did yesterday. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. It's a Friday morning, and boy, I'm going to get you money right now on top of this. CARES Act 1 money. Last night's Purple Power Live was a testament. Viewers getting thousands of dollars. You should be the next one. It's going to be a good day. It's a Friday morning, and this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE, and I'm here, you're here, and the toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm so glad you joined me. But again, you didn't leave me begging. Hope you're good and safe. Hope you have your hair on tight, and for Nancy, hope you have the wig ready, because today is going to be a roller coaster. Yesterday, I recorded more times than Nancy Pelosi's changed her hairstyle, and I went live. I was so live that, they call me LA Live at this point. There's literally going to be twists and changes across the board. And this is good for you. This is good for us because it is not a closed deal. We thought by midday yesterday it was a closed deal and that there was going to be no stimulus check. No. And yeah, we understand that Joe Biden has now promised us multiple stimulus checks starting in January until we're blue in the face, and $2,400 for SSI and SSDI, but that's January. We need money right now. But please subscribe, because on top of all this thing we're going to get to a second Congress, I'm going to give you his money right now. And last night's Purple Power was really a testament to the power of this channel, the viewers. The viewers jumped in and basically explained, here's new rent grants announced here, new rent grants announced here, new rent grants announced here. I had one viewer saying, do you have anything in New York? Another viewer saying, they just announced a massive rent grant for the entire state of New York. Someone saying, can you tell me something about Mississippi? Someone said, I just got something from Mississippi. Here's something in Mississippi. That's how we do it here. Please subscribe, because if you need rent grants, if you need food grants, if you need utility grants, free money, and I don't mean $100. I don't mean a $500 Nancy Pelosi stimulus check. I'm talking about $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Georgia, Gwinnett County, doing rent grants up to $6,000. People have been asking about these places, and they're all coming together. You gotta subscribe. Also like this video. Boy, it's an instant premiere, and there's those people over there, and they're probably like saying, Lord, I tuned into Purple Power Live last night, and just, it was just left and right. Things were coming in by the hour. Now, if you did not tune into Purple Power Live last night, please watch Purple, which I modified a little bit yesterday, and I announced that states are giving out $1,200 stimulus checks. literally this week. Yes. So to hell with Nancy. We're getting it from the states, folks. We're getting it from CARES Act 1. You're getting it from me, through me and the volunteers. The volunteers have been absolutely incredible. So if you're over in the live chat, perhaps there's a volunteer there, or if you're looking for a volunteer, then someone else can send you the link. It's youtube.com/LALATE/community. There's about 9 volunteers. They're absolutely wonderful. They're in the live chats every night, at least 1 or 2 of them, and they hear the new developments across the board. So hit them up. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as we sit here today is that there is still possibility to get a second stimulus check in this CR. The reason why is because these people have not agreed upon much of anything. They made it look like they had actually literally were about to finalize the deal by the end of the day. And then by the end of the day, we realized they had not done much of anything. Sound familiar? Yeah, it is familiar. So what's important to understand is that everything they say is not particularly what's going on. Mitch McConnell said there's no room for negotiations. Well, that's all they've been doing for the last 3 days. And apparently, Mitch McConnell may be the only person that may have the magic ingredient. I'm telling you right now to take this video and share it and tag McConnell, McConnell's press secretary, McConnell's communications director, and any staffer from McConnell you can really tag. They don't have big followings on Twitter because ultimately the message is very simple. A stimulus check, Mitch, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance. Get it in there. Please, please, please get it in there. Tell your story. Make it very clear. Make it obvious. Call his office, write him a letter, send him an email, call a staffer, say, put a stimulus check in here. We need a stimulus check, and get it done. Now, Joe Biden, less than 24 hours ago, said that he's going to give you multiple stimulus checks starting in January, but we all know that's too long to wait. You're thankful multiple stimulus checks, but we've been promised things before and it hasn't happened. This time we're on the come and we want to get this check in there. And that's why you got to push very loud and clear. You also cannot sit back and hear one person's statement and think the day is over. Let me explain this to you. Yesterday, you were seeing things sort of float, and then people were like, oh, that's the end of the day because the person said that. No, it's literally changing by the minute. I mean, I can use the example of the day before. Chuck Schumer said, I want all this, and everyone's like, okay, Chuck wants all this, we're dead. Then 20 minutes later, Chuck says, I'm withdrawing my memo. When did that happen? I didn't catch that. So when you hear Nancy Pelosi talk today, brush it off. I mean, she's gonna go above $900 billion. Everyone said they're not gonna allow it. When you hear the problem solvers say, yesterday the problem solver said the two sides are really close about to get it done. By the end of the day, they said they're not really close at all. In fact, $500 billion is not close. I don't know when $500 billion became a close number. It's not a close number, especially when $250 billion of it is state and local that no Republican supports, let alone the president who has to sign the bill. Yes, the president has made it very clear he's going to do what Mitch McConnell wants to do, and he's deferring to Mitch, and Mitch is deferring to the president. They're very in tune on this. This is not McConnell versus Trump, LALATE, circa November 2020. No, it's now McConnell and Trump. They're working as a team. What is my prediction? My prediction is there is is that the situation is just very fluid, and that anything can happen. So you really need to share this video and tag it very loud and clear. Now, the other thing to understand is that there's always still the possibility of a government shutdown. I mean, that's not out of the equation. Government shutdowns are not unusual. And ultimately, Mitch McConnell, less than 24 hours ago, said that he would do a shutdown if you don't come to grasp of where he is. McConnell's position is quite interesting because his position is mirroring Trump and Mnuchin as well. And broadcast news was trying to portray McConnell on this path as really on a one course of destruction, that he was by himself and that everyone else was supporting one another. Not true. Not true. The other side is not so cohesive at all at $900 billion. So what are the deal provisions and what should you be looking at? And what are they and how should you be thinking about them, separate and apart from the stimulus check, the eviction moratorium, and the mortgage forbearance? The only thing they agree upon is the following: an extension of UI for 1 month, an extension of PUA for 1 month. Yesterday on Being a Mitch, I went live and I discussed the implications of this and how it works. Let me give you a brief synopsis of how this works. They want to extend UI for 1 month. So if you're currently on UI, your benefits would continue to the end of January. If your UI expired, then they would reactivate and continue to the end of January as well. For PUA, if you're on PUA, your benefits would continue to the end of January. And then if your PUA expired, then they would reactivate and continue to the end of January. What's important to understand is you need to certify for benefits. So you can't stop certifying for weekly benefits despite what's going on if you're able to. Once this would be, if you're reactivated, then you would immediately go in and certify for benefits as they become available. Next, FPUC. Viewers are asking me, how does FPUC work and how would that kick in? Basically, your FPUC would kick in likely from the date at which it becomes law and go forward. You wouldn't have to do anything. It would go on top of your UI or PUA weeks. And when I refer to UI, I'm referring to PEUC, that federal PEUC that gave you additional weeks of benefits. If you're on federal PEUC, you're getting additional weeks of UI benefits, which are about to expire in December. Your PUA is expiring in December as well. However, what makes this a little confusing is some states have now stepped forward, and those states have extended your weeks of UI. Those states include Hawaii, for example. And so in some states, you have protections against getting any more losing weeks of protection, of weeks of benefits going forward. But what's important to understand is that this is for people who are currently on benefits. If you're not on benefits yet, then that's a whole other discussion. For example, if you're starting benefits just next week for the first time ever, well, you have a lot of weeks of UI available. Now, you don't have a lot of weeks for PUA because PUA was a program created under CARES Act 1. A lot of confusion, but we're making it simple, so stay with me. And needless to say, ultimately, a lot of things can twist and turn by the hour, and that will certainly turn tomorrow. What's going on with FPUC across the board retroactively, though? Viewers are confused about that as well. Well, Joe Biden wants to give you FPUC retroactively at $600 a week. Now, there's like a lot of questions I got from that as well, which is a little confusing. First of all, the obvious question, does he think he can really get that done before a GOP Senate? If the Senate seats in Georgia don't both fall to the Democrats, the GOP remains control of the Senate. And so what does Joe Biden think he can get? I don't know, but $600 a week is not one of them. I don't see a GOP Senate ever giving him $600 a week for anything, let alone retroactive $600 a week. $400 a week, sure. $300 a week, sure. But then the big issue is retroactive benefits. Every day that this goes on longer, the number grows higher. And it's been a long week, a long time since August. We have all talked about retroactive weeks and how retroactive is the retroactiveness. Is it retroactive into September or August or November? Understand that when Joe Biden comes into office and then starts to do retroactiveness, he would be talking about that in late January. How long ago is August from January? It's a long time. And it's a gazillion weeks of retroactiveness. Are these people really going to give you a gazillion weeks of retroactive? My opinion, no. My opinion is they're going to ultimately try to cheat you out as many weeks of retroactiveness as they can. The last attempt was in November. Both the Republicans and Democrats were only doing retroactive to September, so they were going back 2 months. So to think that we're sitting here today in December and hoping that Joe Biden is going to take you January all the way back to August, it's a reach. It's especially a big reach if the GOP is dominated by the Republicans. Meantime, I continue to get big money for viewers of this channel, so please stay with me. There's grants across the country. And what's important to understand when you're looking at your city, county, and state for rent grants, those rent grants may not have been there yesterday, but they may be there today. Cities and states across the country are announcing new rent grants by the hour. And what's important to do is stay with me because I'm broadcasting them on this channel, whether it's Colorado or it's New York, whether it's the state of New Mexico or the city of Houston. New rent grants or utility grants are being announced across the board. It's important that you get these and get them right quickly because ultimately this money's not going to be there around much longer. I had predicted this over 2 weeks ago and I said, you know what, this is the CARES Act 1 money. It has to be used or lose or returned by December 15th. Unlike escalated benefits, which is state money, unlike unlike states giving you extended weeks of UI, that's state money, and unlike city or state grants that are being announced in some cases for just city programs, that's city grant money. Most of this money is CARES Act 1 money, and it has to be returned by December 15th. So this money's not going to be around much longer. These grant programs are very robust. They're not small. So you can get thousands of dollars. The important thing to do is stay with me and stay with me throughout the day, because ultimately when you look at these rent grants, you're going to say, wow. Georgia has been one of those. Georgia has been a state. Georgia has been a state, not a city. Georgia has been a state that I've gotten questions about in every Purple Power Alive. And last night, one for you dropped in the comments. Gwinnett County is going live with a rent grant up to, I think it was $6,000. So thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, and something totally new. Another viewer jumped in the comments and said on Purple Power Live last night, said, I got a rent grant in Savannah, Georgia. So there you go. There is rent grants in Georgia. The question is how hard, how deep, and how far do you have to find them? And it's not that particularly difficult. That's the spirit of the Purple Power. Push, 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 and you'll get things. If you've not subscribed, please do. And also like this video. Coming up later today is Morning to LALATE with big details across the board about your check. Please join me for that recording. There's going to be a lot of developments. And join me on Holidays LALATE, which based upon the way the things are twisted and turning, may be one of the most important recordings tomorrow. Holidays LALATE is at 12 noon, and it's really right in the middle of these negotiations of these people, right in the middle of the workday. So it's an important recording. Morning to LALATE is towards the start of the day, so we're about 2-3 hours into the negotiations. And then afternoon check is a recap of where things have unraveled in late afternoon. But by evenings, we still have some more breaking details that are coming in. Needless to say, it's afternoons LALATE and holidays LALATE, which I expect the big developments tomorrow. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay at LA for more.